Hello. It's good to see you. Today we're going to be making another combination of things that I never would have thought to put together. We did pickle cupcakes not too long ago. Today we are doing banana pudding brownies. I saw several recipes for banana pudding brownies online, but I decided to go with this one. But there are, if you just search for banana pudding brownies, there are several different varieties and types of recipes. One that I saw, super simple. You just mix up the banana pudding stuff and you get a box of brownie mix, like a brownie mix. You make them and then put the brownie mix in the pan and then just dollop the banana pudding down into it and then bake it. It's very simple. This one actually does not even use a brownie mix. So I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. Now, one thing that this recipe calls for that's a little different, and I actually didn't even know existed before looking for ingredients for this. One thing it calls for is a banana cake mix. Now, this is not a banana bread mix. That is something different. This is banana cake mix. Now, this is from Duncan Hines. They have different versions of this. They have banana, lemon, pineapple, strawberry. So they have different types of this supreme cake mix. And I had a little trouble finding this, but I will let you know I did find it at my local Big Lots of all places. They carry this. None of the grocery stores in my area carry this particular type. They had some of the other flavors, but not banana. You can find it online. Amazon carries it. However, I will warn you, it's very expensive on Amazon. I got this at Big Lots for less than $2. With tax, it was $1.65 for this. But if you really want to find it, you can find it online. But it's very expensive. Let's see. Also, with the other recipes, there are other recipes online for this, like I mentioned, that do not call for this. So if you still want to try to make the recipe, there are other recipes online that you don't have to have this to make it. So, but this recipe that we're doing today does call for the banana cake mix. And I'll put a link to this recipe in the description if you want to try it for yourself. The rest of the ingredients are very simple. You need 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. So I set this out a little while ago to make sure that it had time to kind of warm up a little bit. It's very mushy now. That's the way you want it. And of course, anything involving banana pudding, you have to have vanilla wafers. Now, I did make a video quite a while back making banana pudding. If I think about it, I'll put a link in the description to that video so you can see how you make banana pudding. Now, some people, when they make banana pudding, will put whipped cream on top of it. I don't. Basically, it seems like a lot of people do whatever they had growing up. And growing up, we didn't put whipped cream on our banana pudding. You just make the banana pudding and eat it, with the vanilla wafers, but no whipped cream. So, but any recipe that calls for banana pudding has to have vanilla wafers. I just picked up this box of great value vanilla wafers, crisp with a sweet artificial vanilla flavor. We wouldn't want any real vanillas destroying our experience with these little cookies. Thank God, it's artificial. So we're going to be using these. You can use any kind. It really doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Also, we're going to need vegetable oil. I have my Carlini vegetable oil here. Pure vegetable oil, straight from Aldi. We're also going to be adding some chopped walnuts to this recipe. Now, these are just great value chopped walnuts. I may cut them up a little bit more. We're going to need some of those. And I'm going to have to open this entire pack of confectioner's powdered sugar to get out 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. I used up all of my last bag in the last recipe that we did. So I'm going to have to open this whole thing to get a tablespoon and then store it in a container. We also need pure vanilla extract. I have my great value pure vanilla extract here. And we also need eggs. We need 3 eggs. And that's pretty much it. Most of the ingredients are very simple. There is no brownie mix in this recipe. So I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out. I have no idea. Yeah, so this should be pretty interesting. I don't know, we'll see. Probably not as interesting as those pickle cupcakes, but still kind of curious to see how this turns out. So let's get started. Before we get started on the first step, I always like to show off my bowls. Look at these pretty things. We have 4 bowls here and they're different sizes. We have a pink one, blue, sort of a lime green and orange. And they have these little flecks in them. Aren't they cute? Now we won't be using these smaller bowls in this recipe. I think really I think we should just need these 2 right here, the 2 larger ones. So we don't need these, but aren't they pretty? These bowls are from Zak, Z-A-K Designs, and they're so fun. I love these pretty bowls. I love my pretty bowls. So for this recipe, we're going to need 1 bowl to mix the banana cake mix in, and 1 for the cream cheese mix. So I don't really know if it matters which bowl we use for what. We're going to start with the cream cheese mixture. You know what? Let me use this one because I have to use an electric mixer, and I think this one would work better. So for the first step, we're going to add our 8 ounces of cream cheese into this. It calls for a medium mixing bowl. I guess that's medium enough. So we're going to put that in here. My hands are clean. You're going to take this cream cheese. You can place it in here and use your mixer and beat it until it is soft. The recipe says it should take you approximately 2 minutes to do that. I don't ever time myself, so I don't know how accurate that is. The cream cheese is very soft. It's at room temperature. So I'm going to need to scrape this out. I have a little scraper here. It's one of the drawbacks to working with room temperature cream cheese. So the starting point does not call for any extra ingredients, just the cream cheese. So I'm going to go beat that until it is soft, and then we'll come back. I have now beat the cream cheese for 2 minutes and it's nice and soft. At this point, we're going to add 1 egg to it. Just bloop the little egg in there. I'm going to add your vanilla there. That's a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And your tablespoon of powdered sugar. We are now going to beat this again for another 2 minutes. And then we will be finished with this step. Okay, I've now incorporated everything with the cream cheese. Looks like I have 2 little eyeballs right there and a little weird little frowny face. Look, it looks like a sad sun with the little bits around it. Okay, now that we have beat this together, we're actually going to set this aside and move on to the next step. Now, for that one, we're going to use this pretty green bowl. In this bowl, we're going to add the cake mix, 2 eggs, and the oil. Okay. So here we have our banana cake mix. It doesn't really smell like anything. I kind of figured it would have a banana smell, but it really doesn't. Okay. 2 eggs. eggs. Bloop, bloop. And our third of a cup of oil. Okay. So now I'm going to mix all this together for 1 minute. Okay, I have now mixed together the banana cake mix and the 2 eggs and the oil. Now the list of ingredients called for chopped walnuts, but nowhere in the instructions does it tell you to actually add the walnuts. I went ahead and just added them to this mix right here. So I also have my walnuts in here. Now the next step is that we are supposed to dollop this into a greased 9 by 13 inch baking dish. This mixture is not exactly dollopable, like literally, but I will dollop to the best of my abilities. Have my lovely greased anchor hocking dish here. Yeah, it's very, very thick. I couldn't really smell the banana in it until I added the eggs and the oil, and then I could really smell it. It has a strong banana smell to it once you mix it with something. It looks like ice cream. It does kind of have the consistency of ice cream. That's more sturdy. I have my wooden Crofton spoon from Aldi. And I can use this to kind of scrape it off. Okay. It's very thick. I'm just going to kind of press it around in the bottom of this dish. I don't want to add any more moisture to it because it didn't say to. And when I do these videos, I always follow the recipe the first time I make it, except for the walnuts, because it didn't. I read the recipe over and over and it doesn't tell you where to put the walnuts. But from looking at the picture, I believe it goes in this part. This is the brownie part, I suppose, of our banana pudding brownies. Well, it pats out nicely. Okay. The next step, now that we have this all spread out, is to spoon our cream cheese mixture onto the top of our brownies. This stuff smells really good. You want to just spread it over the top, like that. says at this point that you're supposed to take a skewer and go back and forth to pass through and make swirls. I don't own any skewers, and I did not see that part of the recipe instructions. All I have is a toothpick, so it's not as good, but it's all I have. I don't have any skewers or skewer-like implements, so I just did it with a toothpick. Okay. Now on the top of this, we are going to add a cup of vanilla wafers. I have approximately 1 cup of my great value vanilla wafers. You're just going to turn them face up, put them on top. And you could put as many or as few as you want. Some people like a lot of vanilla wafers, some don't. Or you can just leave them out if you don't like them. Have some extras. I'll stick it on the side. Okay. We are now going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. Now the instructions do say that the center will be a little bit soft at the end of that time when you take it out. And then we'll come back and see how it looks at the end of that. Here it is, fresh out of the oven. It smells really good. It definitely has a nice banana smell to it. Okay, now we are going to leave this dish on a rack here to cool completely. It has to cool completely, and then it has to be refrigerated before you cut into it to be served. So I'm going to let this sit here and completely cool, and then I'll refrigerate it, and then we will try it. Our dish has now cooled and it's refrigerated. It has been chilling so long my nails changed color. I redid my nails while I waited. Now my hands are clean, but I will note that the vanilla wafers are soft on the top, which they're supposed to be. They're not going to stay nice and crunchy, and it's the same way with the banana pudding. They're not super soft, but they're definitely softer than they were. Okay, my little spatula. We're going to take a slice, a sample of this treat. Just take a corner bit. The first piece is always kind of hard to get out. Now I did grease this pan. I sprayed it with the non-stick cooking spray before adding anything to it. It looks pretty solid. It looks like it's coming out. Got my lovely plate here. I got these at Dollar Tree. Aren't they pretty? I have some full-size plates. This is a salad plate. I have dinner plates this size too. Really pretty pattern. I love paisley. Okay. Well, there's what it looks like. Oops. You can see the cake mix down here and the cream cheese mixture on the top. I want my vanilla wafer. So let's go give it a try. We have our banana pudding brownie. Look at that. Now for me, and I was thinking about this while it was chilling in the refrigerator, I thought, when I think of a brownie, I want a chocolate flavor. You know, I want to taste some chocolate with that. Obviously, this is not going to have a chocolate flavor, so I'm going to try it. But then I want to also add a little bit of chocolate flavored syrup to it. This is Berry Hill chocolate flavored syrup from Aldi. It's actually pretty good, but I'm going to try it without that. And also, I want to try another one of these recipes that actually has brownie mix in it, along with the banana pudding, so we can see what that tastes like. I may not do it in a video, but I'm kind of curious to see what that's like. But here we have it. The top of the top of the vanilla wafer came off. It gets very soft, you know, as it is exposed to the other stuff. Same with banana pudding. You have that cream cheese mixture on the top, and that nice little corner piece is always good. I want to get a little bit of my vanilla wafer with this bite. Ooh, look at that layer. It's not very sweet. Not very sweet at all. Okay, the bottom definitely has the texture of a brownie. Absolutely. Has a nice brownie texture. And there's a nice, definitely a big banana flavor. In fact, my whole house right now smells like banana flavoring. It smells like somebody lit a banana Laffy Taffy on fire and left it in here for a while. It's very strong, but it's nice and solid. You see, and it has a nice little, not really a crunch, but it has a nice texture to it at the bottom. The walnuts are nice in there too. I mean, it's good. It's good, but yeah, it's not super sweet at all. There is some sweetness to it, but not a whole lot. Because, you know, as you can see, of course, there's sugar in the banana cake mix, but we didn't really add any except that tablespoon of powdered sugar. So it's not very sweet at all. I almost want to put whipped cream on it because I feel like that would add a little bit of sweetness to it. It's good, but it's missing. I feel like it's missing something. There's totally nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you like brownies that aren't chocolate and you like banana pudding, it's definitely good. Look at that big old piece of crust there. Woo. I'm gonna take some of this chocolate flavored syrup and I'm just gonna put a little bit on here. I'm just curious. Just a little drizzle of that. I just want to see what this tastes like. I thought about this earlier. Like I said, I was sitting here thinking I want to try it without the syrup, but I also want to try it with the syrup because I'm just curious. It's a little gooey. There's some syrup in there somewhere. I thought I would like that. Hang on a minute. Maybe I didn't get enough syrup. I'll get a little bit more on this piece. I don't really like that any better. No. I think it's just because, you know, this is not gonna, you know, you can't stimulate brownies with this stuff. A brownie is a brownie and syrup is syrup. I actually like it better without the syrup. I mean, it's good. That bottom part is really good. It has that nice, like a dense texture to it, like a brownie does. It's kind of like blonde brownies, if you've ever had those. Those are really good. My mom used to make blonde brownies when I was a kid. They're really good, but she would put chocolate chips in them. So good. But yeah, this part with the syrup, I don't really like that, but the rest of it is pretty good. It's good. Overall, my opinion of it is it's good, but I think I would like it if it were just a little bit sweeter. It's not very sweet at all, and I don't like it with chocolate syrup on it. I would like to try this. You know what I think would be good? Instead of using that banana cake mix, just do a brownie mix and put that on the bottom and then do the cream cheese mix on the top. Of course, then you don't get that banana flavor. But there are recipes out there where you can use a brownie mix and banana pudding. It's probably just regular banana pudding on top. I think I'm going to try that. But like I always say, whenever I do a recipe in a video, I always follow the recipe the first time, and then I can make changes to it when I make it later, not for a video. Kind of like the fiestadas. I redid those with the changes I mentioned in the video, and it's perfect. It's absolutely wonderful. It has become my kids' new favorite thing. They love it. But the first time I make it, I always follow the recipe, and then I can make changes later. But it's good, but it's not as good as I had hoped it would be. But it encourages me to try some different recipes for the same idea, and try some of the other banana pudding brownie recipes out there. I want one that actually has chocolate brownie in it. That's what I want. But anyway, it's not bad. It's totally decent. I would totally make this again with some modifications to it. But yeah, it's not bad at all. It was definitely worth a try. So yeah, not bad. Not the best I had hoped for, but not, I'll just say it's not bad. That's what I'll say. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see this lovely little dish here and getting to taste it and everything. It does look pretty. Just ignore the chocolate syrup that I put on it. Don't do that. I mean, you can try it, but I didn't like it. It really didn't help. It was fun though. I always like trying new stuff, so it was worth a shot. And it's not bad. It's not bad. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.